Welcome everybody down to Matcave Gaming. I'm Matt and I'll be your host for this evening, and tonight we are diving back into the world of Resident Evil. Tonight we're playing the finale of Resident Evil 2 Remake on the PlayStation 5. Where we left off last week, we were making our way into Umbrella's secret laboratory known as the Nest. And it was at that point we kind of cut it off there, and we saved the finale for another stream, which is tonight. And I am so glad to see everybody joining us here. And tonight what we're going to do is, since we have a smaller portion of the game to play through, after we beat the game, we're going to discuss the entire Resident Evil franchise overall. And I want to give you my thoughts on how I feel about the franchise in the past, the present, and what I feel it's going to be like going into the future with the release of Resident Evil 9, as well as additional remakes entering the franchise. Good to see all you guys here. I hope everything sounds okay. I was having a little bit of issues. I seem to be having technical issues more often than not lately. I don't know what's up with that, but I'm hoping everything is good tonight. So, guys, we're not going to use the Wheel of Fate tonight. I was trying to get a few things set up here and I don't have the wheel ready, so my apologies. We will be using the Wheel of Fate again very soon in other streams with other games. We're going to be coming up with all kinds of fun challenges that we can do and have a lot of fun doing that during the live streams. But tonight we're going to focus on getting through the secret laboratory underneath Raccoon City known as the Nest. We're going to see what kind of secrets Umbrella has for us here. And talking about the franchise overall, I want to bring this up here. This comment right here from Padawannabe, first off, good to see you, my friend, says this and Resident Evil 3 recently have come to Game Pass for Xbox. You will be my gauge if I should download these. I've never played them before. I only ever played RE4 on the PS2, which, by the way, is a fantastic game. Spoiler alert, we are playing the finale of RE2 Remake, so if you don't care about spoilers, then stick around. If not, you might want to wait a little while till we're done with the game to not spoil the ending for you. But that said, as a huge franchise-long fan of these games, I recommend them always, the originals and the remakes. And after we beat the game tonight, I'm going to go into a lot of detail as to why, especially if they're part of a service that you already signed up for, where you can download these games like Xbox Live or like Game Pass or even like PS Plus, things like that. I'd say go for it. You're already paying for that service. You might as well get the games that go with it. And in all honesty, these games I would recommend at full price as well, because they are so much fun. So guys, let's dive into Resident Evil 2 Remake on the PlayStation 5, and we're gonna head down into the Nest. We're gonna see some good stuff. We're gonna go into the save room first, and we're gonna figure out what weapons we're gonna use, and then we're gonna push forward. So guys, I will see you over at the game screen. Okay guys, here we go. We are right where we left off last time with Leon S. Kennedy at the Umbrella Corporation facility underneath Raccoon City. We should have volume here. There we go. How's that sound, guys? How's that volume with the gunfire? So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I have with me at the moment. We do have the Infinite Machine Gun. We do have the Lightning Hawk Magnum, which I believe we have some ammo. Definitely audible? Okay, good. If it's too loud, let me know, guys. I will turn it down as the action gets into that. So what I'm thinking is, if we go into our item box here, I think I collected some Magnum ammo, because that can come into handy. That can come in handy later on for the boss battle. I'm going to keep it in the box right now. It looks like we have 18 shots in there. We've got some med kits. We got a whole bunch of med kits, actually. Let's see if let me reorganize the box here so everything's in order. We could make, I guess I can make like shotgun ammo, but we're really not going to need that. I think we're pretty good with what we have here. I'll take one more flash grenade with us, just in case. And then we have a double herb right here, which should do us fine as we progress into the early stages of this laboratory. So we're gonna see what we can do here. Ted, what's up, dude? With the 9 months as a 16-bit member, thank you so much for it. He says spin it. So tonight I don't have the wheel ready for tonight. My apologies. The last time we were playing this game, if you're seeing this for the first time, the last time we were playing Resident Evil 2, we used what we called Umbrella's Wheel of Fate, and it determined what weapons I could use, whether or not I had to, get rid of things, not heal, don't save, all kinds of stuff like that. We'll be using that again in future games, but tonight we're going to push through the story here so that we can have a discussion about the franchise as well. Alan says we got the grenade launcher. Yeah, we have the rocket launcher, actually, which we could destroy stuff like crazy with that if you guys want to. Tell you what, so we've got the infinite machine gun, and we've got the grenade launcher. So tell you what, let's do infinite machine gun or infinite rocket launcher. Which weapon? Let's leave it to you guys. I'm gonna throw a poll up there, guys. Okay. We got a poll up there. Which weapon are we going to use? Are we going to use the infinite machine gun, the LE5, or are we going to use the infinite rocket launcher and really plow through some stuff and see what we get? So let's let the poll run here for a few moments and see what we end up getting here. We're at 50-50 right now. Oh, it's starting to lean towards the rocket launcher. It's getting up there, guys. But I'll let you guys decide. We'll leave it up here for another minute and figure out how we're going to make our way through here. In the meantime, I do like keeping the defensive weapons with us, but if you guys recall, we were playing on hardcore, which means we have very limited inventory space. There were very few side packs to get more inventory slots. So we ended up with very little here. So actually, in the meantime, I'm going to store the Magnum for now, because we're not going to need much with that. All right, so I'm going to let the poll run. Let's count it down from 10, and then we're going to dive into this. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's end the poll and see what we got. And it looks like the votes are for the rocket launcher. So we are going to store the machine gun. And we are going to grab the infinite rocket launcher, guys. Oh my goodness. We are armed to the teeth at this point. Nothing should really stand in our way. So let's do this. I don't think there was anything in this side room that we need. Let's just double check here. That was a map. We don't really need that. There's more stuff in here for Claire's side of the story. So we're going to make our way through the nest here and see if we can make a mess of some of these monsters. Ooh, wow, it's like really dark and creepy in here. Rockets away! Yeah, Kylie. We're about to mess up some zombies. This hallway is messed up, covered in blood. Black Dragon, what's up? So, says I don't have to save you tonight? No, tonight you don't have to save me. But somebody might want to save this guy. I shot over his shoulder. How did I miss? Oh, made a mess. Hello. Where are you? I heard you screaming at me. Oh, I think I got those guys with those shots.
Designed for your nutritional needs using our latest biological research.
Oh.
Please enjoy our tasty selection of healthy foods.
They have healthy foods in this cafeteria. Now that we got the action going, how's the volume, guys? Everything good? Everything balanced? If not, we can make changes on the fly. Alright, I think there's like, yeah, we can get an extra knife in here. That'll come in handy. Oh! Oh man, that guy scared the doo-doo out of me. Run away. I shoved a grenade in his mouth. Oh! That guy probably has a headache now. Hello? Oh, boy, he really lost his head. Oh, my goodness. That guy really scared me. Oh, my goodness. We have a hello, everybody, in the chat. I can't read the name, though. The name is coming up a little funky. But hello anyway. Welcome down to Matcave Gaming. Okay, I don't have the panel for that. But I do need this. And we're going to put this into our bracelet. This was the bracelet that we got from Ada that basically has like built-in key cards so we can get into these doorways. Oh, Blood Dragon, what's going on, dude? Yeah, it's coming up. Let me see if the pop-up chat comes up. Yeah, see how it's coming up? Like it's got squares and stuff. But now I see your logo, so I should have known it was you. Hello there. Welcome, welcome to the stream. Alright, so now we can get into the blue doors. Push our way through. I think it's pronounced box, 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 fish hook, box, box. Ah, right, I should have known. Oh, I think I got everything over in this section. It's been a while since I've played the nest area in this one. I know there's a couple of puzzles down here that I don't remember the solution offhand, but we can find the solutions. They're on a couple of objects that we can grab. So this is actually, this device right here, this signal modulator. We're actually going to backtrack. I'll show you what this does. It opens up some additional spots where you can get like more ammo, you can get more upgrade items. Not that we necessarily need them, but let me show you, because you use this to turn the power on in different sections here, so you can see how dark it is here down in the nest. But if we go up to the panels where this modulator goes and match the frequency, we can turn the power on and get some lighting. So we want to set that to OSS. So we're going to use this. And then we're going to adjust the frequency. Let's get this to about there. Whoop. Whoa. This is not working. Oh, here we go. Almost. Got it. Alright, so that's set to OSS. So now all we got to do is put it in there. Match the frequency, and then let there be light. And we got a side pack. Oh, that's convenient. Now we got 2 additional slots in our inventory, so that's perfect. And we got a friend. Let's give him this. Oh, goodbye. Okay. That was actually worth doing right there. We got an additional side pack, so now we don't have to worry about space being an issue as much as we did before. So we're going to use that device again in some other areas. I took it with me, right? Yes, I did. Let there be light. Alright, let's make our way into the facility. I love how they remade this section here, because I know exactly what this all looked like in the original game. In fact, I just played the original game all the way through just the other night. I've been rebuilding my physical copies recently. Specifically the Resident Evil collections, about 15, 6, actually, yeah, it's over 16 years ago at this point, when I moved into this house. During the move, I lost a ton of physical games. I don't know what happened to them, where they went, but a bunch of my Resident Evil games were part of that. So I've been rebuilding them, and RE2 on the PlayStation 1 was part of that I recently added back to my collection, and I figured, you know what, the best way to test the disc is to just play the whole game. So I did. And actually on our Discord, over in our high scores section, I posted a screenshot of the results, and I think I did pretty good jumping back into that game. Splody! BDBGP, what's up, dude? Welcome to the stream, dude. Here we go. Ooh, somebody broke the air conditioning duct over there. We gotta make our way through here. We gotta find William Birkin. Oh, let's grab those ink ribbons. We're gonna need those to be able to save. Do I have any more ink ribbons? That's a good question. Did I collect any? We need those to save. We do. I have one here. Okay. So we're not going to save just yet. So I'll put those away and save them. But in a little bit, we should save, just in case. Because in classic Resident Evil fashion, if you don't save and we die, we go back. So let's try not to die. Oh, look at this guy. Now he's got the next level card that we need. He's got the purple one. And we need that to be able to get into the final section.
What happened
But
here?
in here, we got to deal with these plant monsters. And normally, these things are a real pain in the butt. Because you got to aim for these, like, bubble pulsing mucus-filled things on their bodies. They're all over the place and you have to hit those. And when you're using a handgun, that can be really tricky. But we have a rocket launcher right now. So there's one hanging from the ceiling. If you can see him right there. We're going to just wake him up like this. And then he's not a problem anymore. I think he has a friend here as well.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, he's on the floor. Light him up. They don't like fire. These things are a really interesting recreation of those creatures, because those are in the original game, except they look very different. They look like, they literally look like giant plants with like leaves and sprouting and everything, but with legs. These things are more humanoid. Okay, so right here, we need 2 codes to open up the passageways that we need to get through. So there's 2 passageways up there, and I don't remember the codes off the top of my head. So we're going to go look for the codes, and then we'll come back to this to enter them. So it does add a little bit of time to moving through this area, but not a ton. We'll be all right. I'll turn my headphones a little bit. There we go. Okay, we need this piece here. Alright, let's do this. I think we got some more plant friends out here. Ooh, we got a red herb. Let's take that with us. Oh, hello. Give them that. Alright, let's see. I don't need that. But I do need the code that's right here. Oh, that's right. It's like scratched off on hardcore. So we're going to have to guess the last 2. So if you take a look at these right here, kind of looks like Tetris pieces. That's the code right there we need, but there's 2 other parts. It's a 4-part code. And I need to enter it in to unlock this section right here so we can do the puzzle in there. So it's like these 2 little L brackets, like a thick line, and then whatever the other 2 are. We could guess. There's only so many choices for it. Ooh, a grenade. Take that with us. Let's see if I can just work that out. I'm going to head back into that room. Sit Apple, good to see you. Good to see everybody tonight, guys. Welcome to the stream. I'm so glad you guys are here for our Wednesday stream. I'm very happy to be back. Last week into the weekend, what a week. That was something else, huh? From my daughter getting sick and having an insane allergic reaction, all the way to an actual earthquake in the tri-state area. That was something else. Okay, so the first part of that code was these guys right there, and then it was this thick line. So then I could let me see if I remember this. It might have been this and this. No. Alright, we're going to have to go find the other code. The other code is sitting on like a statue, I think. That we, oh, where are you? The other code, oh my goodness. We don't want these things to grab us, especially on hardcore. They'll kill us in one hit. There's the other code. Okay, so what do we got here? It's like L bracket on a line, 2 dots, like a letter F sort of, and double L's. Okay. Let me look at that one more time. L bracket on a line, 2 dots, an F, and double L. let's get back in this room. So this will open up that passageway for us. Okay, so it is this, 2 dots, letter F, and a double L. There we go. So now that passageway is open, and then we can go find the code for that other lab, and then we can get everything in there. Kylie's asking, did you enjoy the rest of WrestleMania? I loved WrestleMania, Night 1 and Night 2. I had a blast. That was the first WrestleMania I have watched in years, and it did not disappoint. I didn't know who half the people were, unfortunately, but, you know, the people that were there that I did recognize, like The Rock and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and stuff like that, I recognize them, but I got to learn about characters like Seth Rollins and all kinds of stuff, CM Punk. It was very cool. I had a blast. My son and I watched it together, and it was very cool. He was teaching me all about that stuff, so it was awesome. Real Wade Nation, what's going on, dude? Welcome to the stream. We are playing some Resident Evil 2 Remake. We are on hardcore mode, but we do have an infinite rocket launcher, and we're working our way towards the end of the game. Alright, I gotta find that code. I think we have friends in here. Yep. I think I could just take them out right now before they get up. Oh, yeah, I can. Love the rocket launcher. A long day? Yeah, man, I hear you. I hear you. Let's turn on the lights. URF. Okay. URF. There we go. Got it. Oh, helps if I actually, like, use it. Got home decompressing now? Nice. Yeah, I ended work just a little while ago, just before the stream started. Alright, usually I could have sworn the code was right here on the table, but I guess it's different in hardcore mode. Let's take this herb with us. Might be... Look at... Oh! Oh! 2! There's 2. We need to heal. We need to heal. We need to heal. Look at the claw marks he left on the floor. Man, he almost killed us. Did you see that? We went immediately to danger in one hit, and he just kind of sideswiped us. So, you know, we may feel pretty safe with this rocket launcher, but I'll tell you, if these things get us, it's out, down and out. Oh, here we go. Okay, we need that. It takes up a space, but if we look at the bottom of it, that's our code right there. I was close. I was really close at getting that code. Alright, let's hang on to that. Let's see what else we need in this room.
Welcome back, Dr. Lee. You have
Dr. Lee.
new messages.
Okay, what do we got? What do we got?
Who left the freezer open?
Need these gold in here. Oh, I need the... Okay, I gotta go back to the other room. I need the canister that we're gonna get from there. That's gunpowder. Okay, we gotta go back. I think we end up getting a shortcut, though, at this point. Stay dead. But we do have the code, and then we can go deal with the chemical puzzle that's up there. This should loop us around. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Got any more friends up here? Oh, yeah, you do. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, we gotta get him on fire. There we go. The key with the plant creatures, including in the original game, if you do not burst them up in flames, they come back. And they will wreck you. That's a note. That's not a thing we need. Hello? Oh god, I love the rocket launcher. Here we go. This should be our shortcut back. Alan says close to 13.5 inches of rain here since Monday. Oh my god, it's still coming down? Wow. We had an overcast day today. Later in the day. I think it just started raining a little bit ago, but not much. I think for good measure, I think we should save at this point. So let's take... We only had 3 ink ribbons. So we got to be careful. Where's my ink ribbon? Yeah, let's save. Just in case I accidentally mess up. And we don't have to go back too far. Okay, so now we can loop back through here. And we got that puzzle code, which is exactly what we need. These guys should still be dead because we set them on fire. Yep, they did not get up. They would like, the vines on them would be moving and all kinds of stuff. Okay, let's look at our code. We got like the Tetris pieces, a line on a block, and 2 dots. So we got the Tetris pieces on the thing, a line, wait. This and 2 dots? No, what was it? Hold on. Brain fart almost immediately. Isn't that what I just did? Oh, is it a skinnier line? Okay. This one. This and 2 dots. No. This. 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 What am I doing wrong? Unless I have it backwards? Maybe I have it backwards. Which way does... So it looks like an L? Let me see something. No. Okay, I didn't have that backwards. The Tetris piece... Oh, I was using the wrong Tetris piece. That's why. I'm dumb. I'm a dumb. I'm still dumb. What am I doing wrong? Thin block? This and dots. Oh, man. Okay, that doorway is open. We're not going to need this anymore, which has a check mark on it. And we can discard it and get it out of our inventory. Now, we can do the chemical puzzle. And this one gets a little tricky. The canister in here.
Manual mode engaged. Adjust amount of solution to match cartridge
No
capacity.
Vegas. Okay, so I got to get to that red line that's over there on the first one, and we got to fill these in just the right way. So I want to get. I want to. I'm going to put that there. That there. Fill that up. Then... How do I want to do this? It has to go 2 lines. You fill that to there. Okay. And I just need a small amount. How am I going to do that? That's too much. And then I need halfway. 2, 3, 4. I think I'm about to get it. Okay, into there. And then yes, right? This, and then this, and then this should be it. Okay, there we go. Sith Apple saying, have you seen the trailer for Despicable Me 4? Yes, I did. That looks hilarious. Real Way says, talk later watching Fallout series. Oh, cool. You checking out Fallout? Nice. Did that come out already? Isn't there like is that a movie or a show that's coming out? Kylie says the puzzle makes you think. Yeah, you gotta balance it out and everything. Okay, so now that we have that canister, we can go to that frozen room and get that all to the right chemical compound that we want it to be. And then from there, we're going to get rid of all these vines in this section, and we can get that purple key card. Whoops, get down, get down, get down. And we cleared these rooms. I don't think anything came back. Hopefully nothing came back. Yep, the liquors are still down. Alright. We are getting closer and closer to our battle with William Birkin. Here we go. Okay, let's make a chemical.
Sequence in progress.
Guys, let me know in chat if you've... I know Padawannabe hasn't played these yet. Have any of you played these Resident Evil remakes? And if so, what are your thoughts on the remakes? What do you like better, the remakes or the originals? Let me know, guys. Alright, here we go. We got the chemical compound that we need.
Cooling complete.
Sweet. Let's get back to that thing. I'm trying to remember. We're playing scenario 2. Is Mr. X coming after us? Where am I going? I'm going this way. Sith Apple says, only played the originals. Nothing wrong with that. I absolutely love the originals. In fact, the original RE2 is not only my favorite game in the series, it is my favorite game of all time. And I had a blast replaying it. Yeah, T. Davidson, what's up, dude? Alright. Let's go blast these things with this goop juice. And get that purple key card. I think once we grab that, if I'm thinking about this correctly, I believe Mr. X will come after us. Black Dragon says, the only thing I know about the RE games is what I learned from you. Well, I'm happy to provide the info and entertain everybody with it. Because I love playing these games. I know I play them a lot. And I never blame anyone for saying that they're getting sick of them, but this is one of those game franchises that I never get tired of. It's like a comfort game for me, right? Especially the original. Alright, let's go get that key card.
Warning. You have dispersed a dangerous solution without authorization.
That guy. I almost blew myself up. Ah. Key card, please. Put that in the bracelet. And Mr. X is coming. Let's get the heck out of here. Oh my god.
Shit! Him
Yeah.
again?
Oh, dude. We gotta go. Oh, come on, buddy. Okay. I don't think I needed to do that. Keep running, keep running. I'm not gonna save yet. I'm not gonna save yet. Let's just keep going. It's risky. It's risky. Okay, we gotta get to that... The west area? Yeah, we gotta go to the west. So we're looking for the vaccine. I mean, the samples of the G virus, so that a vaccine can be made. That's the intent. Really? We couldn't tell this is your favorite franchise. I know. Oh, we should watch this. This is extra. Let's do this. See this VHS tape? Operation Nest Wrecker. So, you see this dude? He's wearing he's part of the Umbrella Corps, like, soldiers. There's one that is the most iconic. His code name is Hunk, and he has been either in the games or mentioned in pretty much every game. In 2, you see him in a cutscene. In the spin-off game Operation Raccoon City, you actually get to play as his squad, and he's mentioned in files throughout the franchise. Hunk was a major player on the Umbrella payroll. This is not Hunk right here. This is one of his soldiers, but this is the uniform that they wear. And it was their group that were sent in to go capture William Birkin and take the samples of the G virus. And William Birkin wanted none of that, and he fought back, and this group ended up shooting William Birkin. And before William died, he had a sample of the G virus, which the point of the virus is to rebuild your cells, in essence, healing them. The problem is, the side effect is that it not only heals them, it mutates them. And William Birkin becomes this giant monster that we deal with in the game. In the original RE2, the cutscene of that moment is by far the best cutscene in the entire game. And this VHS tape that we just picked up here, we get a little bit of a tease. So I'm going to put this system together right here real quick, and then we're going to be able to use the VCR that's off to the side. And we're going to take a look at a little bit of what happened with William Birkin and the Umbrella Corps soldiers. There we go. I don't think we need this device anymore. Vanishing Golem, what's up, dude? Welcome. Let there be light. Okay, let's reorganize a little bit here. I'm going to grab another med kit, because we are heading into boss battle territory. Actually, let's use the ones with the shields. Forget the knife. Let's just store that. Get rid of the knife. Let's take another one with a shield, and let's take a full med kit. And let's play the VHS tape, guys. Let's take a look at this. Operation Nest Wrecker. Here we go. There's William.
Got eyes on the G virus.
Going in.
Dr. Birkin, you'll come along with us quietly.
You think I didn't know you were coming? This is my life's work. I'm not handing over anything.
We have our orders, Dr. Birkin. I'll ask you one more time. Hold your fire!
Oh, Birkin.
What the fuck were you thinking? Our orders were to bring him in alive.
That's probably Hunk. We're following. I'm blocking it with my body right now, but we're following someone named Martinez.
Target resisted. We had to take him on.
Oh, he's
That's
not out.
correct, sir. Roger that. Just the samples then. Let's move.
Oh man.
So those were G samples.
Yes, they were G samples in that case. And then what happens in the original game, it's fantastic. William Birkin takes the G virus, he starts mutating, he gets into the first form of his mutation and goes after those soldiers. And in the scuffle, that case gets knocked away and opened. Now Hunk gets away with a sample. Hunk survives, but the rest of his crew, not so lucky. The vials of the G virus break down in the sewers and rats start eating it. And then they travel to the surface and they start spreading the virus throughout Raccoon City. And it just becomes a giant mess. What's going on, Princess May? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Yes, we have returned. Okay, we can get rid of the tape now. We don't need that. I think we're going to pick up another med kit along the way here, but we are very close, guys. We are very, very, very close. These triple herbs right here with the blue, red, and green, those will give us a temporary shield as well. And those are going to come in handy. But we're going to try to take out William Birkin as fast as we possibly can with this rocket launcher. And this is going to be right down there. Right down there, guys. That's going to be the site of the fight. But first, we got to go get the G sample. We're almost there, guys. Working our way through. Now, this is pretty cool. We got, like, power capsules here. And then we have some experiments in these vials here. The beginnings or possibly failed portions of the experiments being done. I think this might be... I think that might be a heart right there. We've clearly got an arm right here that was developing. We've got eyes right here or something. Those are just crazy looking. Alright, let's go get the sample.
Huh. That was easy. Alright, now back to Ada.
Okay, now we gotta find Ada.
Attention. Unauthorized
Oh boy.
removal of a level 4 virus detected. Facility lockdown initiated.
Yeah, we're gonna save. We are gonna save. We're gonna do the smart thing and we're gonna save.
Sequence will begin when lockdown
And then
is
while we're
complete.
here, I can fit one more medkit, so let's do that. I'm going to hang on to the flashbangs and the grenades in case we get grabbed. That can save us. We'll take a full first aid spray. Hopefully, I just hit William with these shots with the rocket launcher dead on, and then we don't even have to worry about being grabbed.
Self-destruct sequence will begin when
So
lockdown
here we
is
go.
complete.
Let's do this, guys. Let's go find... We're going to run into Annette Birkin, his wife.
Attention. Unauthorized removal
Almost
of
too
level 4
easy.
virus detected. Facility lockdown
If he grabs us, though, he can kill us in one shot. Oh, William. Oh. Oh boy, William. You've seen better days.
He's mine.
Annette Birkin.
Sounds dead.
That's Sherry's mom.
What the hell's going on?
He shot him with a water gun.
Sorry, William.
I think that's acid rounds. Whoa. Careful where you splash that. There's so much detail on him. It's so crazy.
You called this thing William. Why?
Love it.
Shouldn't have been like this. It's Umbrella's fault, this whole mess.
You're Umbrella too. You're telling me you weren't involved in this?
Yes. But we never meant for this to happen.
Then tell me everything. Right from the start.
You don't get away that easily.
Oh man. William, why'd you do it? Quite literally a mad scientist.
Good God, William. What have you done?
So you made this monster.
We made the G-Virus, but we never intended
You can
this
spin it any way you want.
Oh boy,
still
he's away. Oh boy, Alright, boy, let's do this. Let's rumble. Oh, he's big.
What are you doing?
We can't let him get away!
Alright, we're on hardcore mode. Let's see how many shots it takes with this rocket launcher.
Class A condition.
One.
Until target is
Two. I missed. Stay to the left. That's the trick. Stay to the left and he'll miss you. Is that 3 or 4? Oh, God, we gotta get up. Gotta save. I mean, gotta heal. Run away, run away. William, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Oh, please don't pick that up. Oh! Oh, another mutation. Oh, we got him! I didn't even have to fight that mutation. It took him out.
is complete.
Oh, how many shots was that?
Attention.
Was that 5 or 6
Target
that we
has been
landed?
neutralized.
That's still a lot, though, for hardcore.
Initiated. Self-destruct sequence will begin when lockdown is complete.
Let's get out of here.
Attention.
We still have Mr. X to deal with.
Jesus.
8 shots? Okay, so look at that. Rocket launcher, guys.
Feels worse.
8 shots with a rocket launcher on hardcore.
Talk about what you said.
You imagine how many shots with the
Just tell
handgun?
me you'll destroy that G-sample.
Leia, what's going on?
It's evidence. It's going to the FBI.
You trust that bitch?
Oh,
What's that supposed to mean?
look at all the dirt and the dust all over his uniform. He's been through some stuff in this game. It's crazy. I love how the outfits
gonna
adapt
sell
over
it.
time.
G-Virus is gonna go to the highest bidder.
You counted 6? I think I missed a couple. Maybe I
I know,
shot
you're
8
right.
but landed 6. Even still.
But if the G-Virus gets into the wrong hands,
No, we don't want the G-Virus getting out. But unfortunately, there are many sequels, and we know what happens with those viruses.
Initiated.
Alright, we gotta find Claire, and Sherry, and Ada.
Self-destruct sequence initiated. Use the central elevator to evacuate immediately to the bottom
Okay,
level
yeah,
train
let's use the
platform.
central elevator. Let's get out of here.
Attention. Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Ada. Ah, gotcha. Okay, so it was 6 that landed. Recount on the
I
rewatch.
was just thinking about you.
That makes 2 of us.
Oh,
I
Ada.
was getting worried.
No, we make a good team. I gotta ask you something.
Way's clear. Please, tell me you got it.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, I
We
got it.
verify the G sample and we get the hell out of here.
Before we do that, I ran into Annette. She claims you're not FBI.
Oh, Leon.
Oh,
Why
man.
can't we just hand over the sample?
As I realized, as much as I wanted to trust you, I didn't.
I really hoped it wouldn't end up like this.
The only side Ada is on is her own.
I was just some pawn to you.
Look, I'm just doing my job.
And I'm doing mine, so drop that damn gun!
Yeah,
I'm
Leon.
taking you in.
Hand over the sample, Leon. I don't want to hurt you.
Oh, we gotta go.
And you shoot me. But I don't think you can.
Oh, Annette. Such a cool recreation of this. I love how cinematic this is.
No one gets that sample now. Hold on. I think I can.
Forget it.
Shut up, I've got you.
It's not worth it.
Don't do this.
Don't worry. She's Batman. Don't worry. Just let her go.
Take
Her
care of
arm's gotta be
yourself,
killing her.
No!
Story-wise, Leon doesn't find out her fate for like 6 years.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta find Claire.
To the bottom level training platform.
Alright, let's boogie. We got our countdown. We got our timer.
Attention.
We still have Mr. X to deal with. I think, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I did this with the rocket launcher, because you're supposed to defeat Mr. X with a rocket launcher. You find a rocket launcher during the fight, but since we already have it, we might be able to take him out in one shot. So let's see. We got the self-destruct system is getting ready here to take out the entire Nest facility. But I think we can take out Mr. X in one shot, which would be awesome.
Self-destruct sequence initiated.
Set the medkits just in case. Hopefully we don't need them.
Who's that?
We're real close, everybody.
Claire!
Leon? You're down here too!
Yeah, but the whole place is coming down. Listen to me. You need to get out. Fast.
Yeah. There's a way out. We can make it. Where are you now?
Claire, you still there?
Oh, we got bad connection.
Leon? Hey, Leon, you're breaking up.
Forget about me. Just get out of here. Damn it.
Yeah, Louis trying to save everybody. So now on the other side of the story, when you play as Claire, she's trying to protect Sherry, and she's about to deal with William Birkin, his next mutation. So he's not dead. He is definitely not dead. We are going to... Hold on a second. We are going to store that. We're going to take the ink ribbon. We're going to save right here. Because that's the smart thing to do. Definitely don't want to redo all that. And do I have any more medkits? Just for good measure, do I have any more medkits? Let's take it. Okay. Oh, actually, I need 2 slots. I need 2 open slots. Let's get rid of the knife. Get rid of the grenades. I need those slots. Because the game's about to do something that's absolutely insane. If we had full inventory there, we would be forced to waste something. Because we have to pick up an item for like literally like 10 seconds. It takes up 2 slots. Get out of here, plant guys. Oh. Where am I going? This way. 8 minutes. Here we go.
8 minutes until detonation.
Oh, hello. Can you hold that for me? Alright. Oh god, I'm not much of a... Okay, here we go. It got really close. We gotta run. Oh, hello, zombie. Keep running. Oh man, here we go. Oh, Mr. X. You Canadian, what's up? Alright, let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do it in one shot. That would be awesome. What's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Oh, okay. We gotta go. And then we need to pick up this thing, which takes up 2 slots to literally plug it in right here. How crazy is that? But we got plenty of medkits in case we get hit. It was 7 hits and 2 misses. Okay. 7 shots landed with a rocket launcher on William Birkin on hardcore mode. Just put that in perspective to if we were using any other weapon. How long that battle would be. And you have to hit those eyeballs on him. That's the crazy thing. Oh, here we go. Now he's full-blown tyrant mode right now. I can do this in one shot. Pasta lasagna? Don't get any on you. Oh no! 2 shots! It takes 2 shots. Oh god, speaking of pasta. Okay, let's get out of here.
You have arrived at the bottom level.
Okay. Oh hey! Welcome to the party, pal.
Until detonation.
Oh, here we go. Floaty. Gotta get out of here. Everything is floaty. Now, if this was scenario 1, that would pretty much be the end right there. But we're on scenario 2. So we've got one more fight to deal with. To get the real ending.
Can't believe I actually miss her.
Don't worry, Leon. Ada will be a thorn in your side in Resident Evil 4. There's Sherry.
We made it.
Just like I said we would.
Who's this?
This is Sherry.
Okay.
Annette and William's
What
daughter.
was that?
Sherry
No.
Birkin.
I'll go. You take care of Sherry.
Alright, everybody. William is not done with us. He is not done with us. Is that an ink ribbon? Let's grab it. Let's save one last time. I don't know how many shots he's going to take with this rocket launcher, but we are going to blast this thing directly into his face as many times as we need to. Here we go. Let's see how William's looking now. He's been through some stuff. Oh, hi, William. I got a few of these for you. Hi, William. Oh, my goodness, you are gorgeous. Eat that. Put the eyeball over there. Oh, I can't back up anymore. This is it. Oh, William, you're getting very close. This is a lot of shots. Eyeballs, yes. Show me the big eyes. Here we go. Oh, what lovely eyes you have. Just a heads up, this gets really nasty right here. Really gross. If you don't like eye things, walk away in a moment. 16 shots. Oh my god. Hardcore mode is no joke. Okay, this is gross. Look away if you need to. Come on! That's nasty. Bye, William. Now that was splody. Whew. 16 shots with a rocket launcher, guys.
So,
Sauron is officially blind.
No. We're just... well, we actually just met last night.
Yeah. That would have been one hell of a first date, though.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Look, he might be able to give us a ride.
What if it's not just the city?
Get Sherry out of here.
Come on.
That guy's heading into town. You're going the wrong way, pal. Oh, thanks. Oh, this poor schmo.
Live another day by the grave.
He was friendly.
So, is it over?
Nope.
I don't know. But if it's not, we'll stop it. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, you damn right we will.
As long as we stick together, we'll be fine. Come on.
We did it, everybody. We did it.
Hey, you guys can adopt
man, my
me.
chair is so squeaky.
We can get a puppy
I need a new chair.
Puppy.
and a parrot.
Parrot.
I always wanted pets, but my mom said they're too messy.
Fun fact, Resident Evil 6, you get to play as Sherry Birkin when she's grown up. We did it, everybody. Hardcore mode, Resident Evil 2. We went through the Umbrella facility known as the Nest, and we used the Infinite Rocket Launcher to just wreck everything on their way through. And some of these enemies took an impressive amount of shots with that rocket launcher. Alright, let's skip past the credits here. What do we get? A B. I'll take a B. That's passing. I think I can look at my overall stats for each playthrough. But we did that in 3 hours and 33 minutes and 45 seconds on hardcore mode. I've done it faster with higher rankings, you know, depending on what type of thing we wanted to unlock, you know, initially with the game. So that, yeah, I love this shirt. I got this from Echo Base Network. I love this shirt. The cartoon Stormtrooper. I love that. I love that look. It's so cool. I bought a few shirts from over there. I got one for Hoth and everything, and some really cool ones over there. Let me see if I can pull up the stats. I think I can of all my past runs, or at least the best ones. That would be, is that bonuses? Records. No, not this. Story? Results. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. So this is my results from prior playthroughs. So on standard being on the top row, with Leon and Claire, got the S ranks across the board on all 4 scenarios, 1 and 2 per character. And then hardcore mode, the big one was the S plus rank. That was the key. That was to get the infinite rocket launcher and unlock a bunch of great stuff in the game. So I did that in 2 hours and 10 minutes and only saved 3 times to get the S plus rank. That was my best run in the game. And if you take a look down on the bottom, to get each ranking, it changes here. So standard, to get an S rank, you have to beat the game in 3.5 hours or less. On hardcore, you have to do 2.5 hours or less to get the S rank. And then the plus was done in, I think that was with, it was the amount of saves, and there was one more factor. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was something else in that, but it was like save less than like 5 times or something like that. But then there's other like achievements you could do where you play the whole game and don't open the item box or don't use any healing items, things like that. There's a whole bunch of other achievements that are built into the game to unlock stuff, which is a lot of fun. So Resident Evil 2 Remake on the PS5, one of my all-time favorite games, and the fact that they remade RE2 was just such a huge thing for me as a fan. All right, we're going to jump back to the full screen, and we're going to talk a little bit about the Resident Evil franchise. And actually, before we do that, I want to grab something. I want to show you guys some stuff for Resident Evil. So bear with me a second. I'm going to do... Where's my thing here? I'll be right back, guys. Let me grab something, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, everybody, we are back. I forgot that I had the Super Mario Brothers theme song playing in that intermission. I went back to one of my older themes in Streamlabs here, and I totally forgot about that. So that was a pleasant surprise right there. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk to you about this franchise overall. Resident Evil has been around for so long, and I want to show you this franchise basically in chronological order and talk a little bit about each one of these. And there's quite a few. I just brought over a stack of games that we're going to talk about here for a little bit, guys. So give you a little history rundown of the franchise. So this isn't necessarily in release order. This is chronological order. So the first thing we're going to talk about real quick is Resident Evil 0. Now this game features Rebecca Chambers from the Bravo team that we meet in Resident Evil 1 as a side character, but you actually get to play as her in this. Now, this came out on the GameCube. It was originally supposed to come out on the N64, and this game acts as a prequel to the original game. Black Dragon says, that's why I love this channel. So knowledgeable about the subjects you talk about. I try to, be as knowledgeable as I can about the things I share with you guys. And, and sometimes, I might be wrong about some information, which, people have corrected me in the past, which is great. I appreciate it. I always want to learn more about all this stuff. But, yeah, Resident Evil 0, this is a game that is... This was one of the first times the fandom got, divided a little bit, because a lot of people hate this one. Now, Resident Evil 0 is far from my favorite entry in the franchise, though I have no hate for this game. I actually really enjoy this one. The interesting thing about this game is that we have another character here, and he's only ever seen or talked about in this game. His name is Billy Cohen, and you play as both Billy and Rebecca. The thing that made this game different from the rest of the franchise was that you switch back and forth playing as these characters on the fly. You hit a button and you switch to the other character. You guys can split up. You can go to different areas in the game and solve puzzles that way. It made the game Very fun in a lot of ways. It also made it more complicated because depending on where you went to and how far you split apart, sometimes solving a puzzle could take a lot of time. Sometimes you could completely mess up and then have to die and start over. It became very challenging, but this game literally starts with Bravo team investigating all the grisly murders that have been happening throughout Raccoon City and up in the Arklay Mountains, and all the events talked about before Alpha Team shows up, where Chris and Jill and Barry and Wesker are all there. So Resident Evil 0 was a very interesting entry, and it acts as a prequel to the series. But still, a very cool game, and it plays really well on the Nintendo GameCube. Now, that brings us to Resident Evil 1. Now, we've got the original on the PlayStation 1, and we've got the remake on the GameCube. Now, this right here, guys, this is the greatest hits edition of it, but this is where it all started. Back in 1996, on the PlayStation 1, I just noticed my green screen is making all the green go away. Let's see if we can show it this way. Resident Evil 1 came out on the PS1, and this is the game that changed my life as a gamer forever. And this introduced me to the world of survival horror. I've played horror games before at that time, but nothing quite like this. The whole idea of having limited inventory, being on a timer, having to save at manual points that if you forget to do so and you die, you go all the way back. And there was so much backtracking and puzzle solving and trying to figure out what to do. I mean, a game like this now, I could play this practically with my eyes closed, but these took hours upon hours to complete the first time playing them. But this is where it all began, Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1, and then the remake happened on the GameCube, and Resident Evil 0 was done in the same style as this one. And I gotta tell you, this right here, the remake of Resident Evil 1, is one of the scariest games I've ever played. Now, again, I've played it so many times that I know where everything is. But I'll tell you, when this first came out, guys, and seeing these new graphics on a GameCube and seeing how realistic it was with a whole new expanded mansion to explore, this was a game changer, quite literally. So Resident Evil 1 takes place in 1998. Alpha Team goes in to find out what's going on. They find the Spencer Mansion, and they end up uncovering the secrets of Umbrella and going down into the secret lab and dealing with the T-virus monsters created by Umbrella. Unfortunately, after that, the mansion explodes, destroying all of the evidence, and all of the corrupt leadership in Raccoon City won't let the STARS team let anyone know what actually happened, and they cover everything up. But then that leads into what we saw a little bit of with William Birkin developing the G-Virus. And the Umbrella crew went in there and inadvertently created William Birkin, the mutated monster. And the G-Virus spread, and the T-Virus as well, and made it to the streets of Raccoon City and started to infect the population there. And that brings us to Resident Evil 2. This particular copy I have is missing the cover art, but there are two discs in here. Disc 1 is Leon, disc 2 is Claire. This was the original RE2, and then we were just playing... I'm sorry, that's the Origins collection. I grabbed the wrong disc. This is Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1 in a collection for the PS4. But we were just playing Resident Evil 2. So here we go. We've got the original on GameCube and the remake, which is what we were just playing. And these games right here, man, what a journey Resident Evil 2 is. The original, this right here happens to be my favorite port of the game as well. The GameCube version of RE2. I absolutely love this one. It is my favorite game of all time. But tonight we just played the finale of the remake, which is an iconic game, and we got to play that on the PlayStation 5 tonight. Resolute Rebellion, welcome to the stream, says, have you played the old Jurassic Park games? Yes, I have. In fact, I streamed a bunch of them. I did pick up that collection that came out on the Nintendo Switch, and I do have a replay of a stream from that. Definitely go check that out. I love the older Jurassic Park games, especially the one on the Sega Genesis, where you can play as either Alan Grant or the Raptor. So, Resident Evil 2 has happened. The outbreak is happening in Raccoon City. People are turning into zombies all over the place. We play as Claire and Leon trying to get through the city. Meanwhile, at the same time, let me grab everything here that we got. Oh, this was a side note. Resident Evil Outbreak, you play as side characters and go through with different survivors in Raccoon City during the events that are taking place during 2 and 3. Now, speaking of 3, let's grab that. So, Resident Evil 3 comes out and takes place during the events of 2, before, during, and after, if you wanted to play it in chronological order. You reprise the role of Jill Valentine, and she is being hunted by a new creature called Nemesis, which is basically a programmed tyrant programmed to go after STARS members. The whole idea was to cover up the information that they revealed from about what Umbrella's doing. And then the remake came along of Resident Evil 3 as well, where you play as Jill Valentine and Carlos Rivera, and you have to deal with Nemesis throughout Raccoon City. These games, the original and the remake, take you to the inevitable fate of Raccoon City, where there's nothing they could do at that point, and the government makes the decision to literally bomb the city and wipe Raccoon City off the map. And then Raccoon City is done. It's a crater in the ground. Anyone who happened to still be in there that was a survivor is gone if they did not get out of the city. Luckily, our STARS members, the main characters, Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Barry Burton, unfortunately, Albert Wesker, and Rebecca Chambers, they do make it out of the city, and we see them in later projects. But by the end of the trilogy, Raccoon City is no more. Raccoon City gets wiped out completely. And it's a really sad ending, in all honesty. It's pretty rough. It's something that gets addressed in multiple things, including spin-off games and the CG animated films. Seth Apple says, I have the Dreamcast version. Those are actually 2 versions that are on their way to rebuild my collection as well. I used to have the Dreamcast versions of RE2 and RE3, which I love those ports. They're fantastic. But those were games that I lost, that I mentioned back in a move many, many years ago. But they will be back in my collection very soon. Now, we get an interesting entry that happens that, depending on how you look at it, some of this game can fit in the canon, but some of it kind of alters things. So this is just a fun side game, if you will, and it's called Operation Raccoon City. I have this on the PlayStation 3 as well as on Steam. This game you play as Umbrella Corporation soldiers. And it's a lot of fun. It's a third-person shooter, basically, and you play as different Umbrella Corp characters, including Hunk, who we talked about earlier. And you're working with his squad, and you go through the events of 2 and 3. That's all happening around you, but you're dealing with kind of side missions within Raccoon City before the place is completely destroyed. So this game, not a lot of the fandom loves this game. I think the game's a lot of fun, but it is a side note. It's something that only parts of it work, but there are some moments in the story in this that kind of mess with things, so it kind of gets in the way. But either way, a really fun entry in the Resident Evil franchise. So I do recommend that one. Now, this one is a very interesting one that came out on the PlayStation 1. This is called Resident Evil Survivor. Now, this particular game did something very interesting. And for a lot of people, the first time they saw Resident Evil go into first person was with Resident Evil 7. But it actually happened way back when on the PlayStation 1 in Resident Evil Survivor. This takes place after the events of Raccoon City. You play as a character, I forget his name, but you're in a completely different place, a whole other city. and this character ends up in a helicopter crash, and he loses his memory. So you're playing as a character that doesn't remember what's going on, but apparently he was a survivor from Raccoon City and finds another town that is dealing with an outbreak. So there is a T-virus outbreak in this other town, and there's a whole bunch of other characters in this game that we never see again. The other thing about this game, being in first person, made it very tricky to play on a PlayStation 1. You're dealing with D-pad controls. This was before the analog stick, and being precise with shooting the zombies and all the other creatures, it was tricky. It was very tricky. That said, this is a game I still revisit from time to time, even though it is probably one of the worst in the entire franchise. In fact, I would say this one by far has the worst voice acting in the entire series. But being a big fan and being a collector of these games, Resident Evil Survivor needs to be in my collection. And in all honesty, it's worth playing at least once just to experience it. It is kind of fun in kind of a weird way. Resident Evil took a turn as well. I keep leaning over to grab these off the floor because I have a big stack. There were some other spin-off games that happened. They landed on the Wii and the PlayStation 3. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles and Resident Evil The Dark Side Chronicles. These are on-rail shooters that use the Wiimote or the PlayStation 3 Move controllers. It's an on-rail shooter that takes you through sequences from multiple Resident Evil games, including RE0, RE1, RE2, and even Code Veronica. Then there's some other missions that take place that give you brand new story elements that we didn't play in the other games. So these games are a lot of fun, especially if you like arcade-style on-rail shooters. It's pretty cool being set in the Resident Evil universe. Plus, there are some additional missions that expand the story. So in my opinion, even though some people don't consider these important entries in the franchise, I think they are a lot of fun and definitely worth playing, especially for that arcade-style feel. They're pretty fun playing that way. I gotta say, the Umbrella Chronicles and Dark Side Chronicles are really cool. Now, let's talk about... Oh, boy. I got them all? Yep, I got them all. Okay, this one. This was a console seller for me, guys. So, before Resident Evil 4 came out, the actual fourth entry in the franchise didn't have a number. And it came out exclusively on the Sega Dreamcast at the time, and that was Code Veronica. This game you reprise the role as Claire Redfield, and it takes place after everything that happened in 2 and 3 and all that. You also get to play as Chris Redfield. So finally, brother and sister are reunited in the franchise. It's a pretty long game. There's 2 discs, and I bought a Dreamcast for this game because at the time, it was exclusive. And that was crazy. No more with the PlayStation 1. It was time to move on to another console. So I ended up getting the Dreamcast, which I actually love. I love the Dreamcast. It's one of my favorite systems out there, so I'm really glad that this made me get it. But Code Veronica is one of the best entries in the franchise, and the game that fans are screaming for a remake. People want this to be the next one that's remade, even though I think 5 is most likely going to be the one remade next. Now, eventually, this game did get ported to the GameCube. I lost the case for it, so I just popped it in another case, but there's the little GameCube disc. There are 2 discs for it. And at that point, it was called Code Veronica X, and it added more elements to the story. It was also ported to the PlayStation 2. Code Veronica X is the full version of the story, so if you were to go play Code Veronica, I would say this is the version to play. This is ported Dreamcast, the PS2, and the GameCube. You can also now get the game digitally on like the Xbox system and PS4 and PS5. They put the PS2 version was ported to those systems, and you can play them on current consoles. It's, the resolution is upped a little bit, so it's a little bit cleaner, but this was really the definitive version of the game. It takes place on an island, a prison island that Umbrella owns. Claire is investigating all the stuff and trying to take down Umbrella, along with Chris Redfield and other characters that have been off from, visiting different areas of the world, fighting against Umbrella, trying to prove to the world what they've been doing. We meet the Ashford family. We find out about the Code Veronica virus, which is a whole new adaptation involving the T virus and the G virus and all kinds of stuff. We find out that Albert Wesker is still alive and he's been mutated by the T virus and now has superpowers, and it just gets absolutely insane. I hope we get a remake of this one day. Code Veronica and Code Veronica X are absolutely outstanding. Now, we're getting close. Here we go. Resident Evil 4. Now, this game came out originally on the GameCube and then eventually got ported to the Nintendo Wii, which let you use motion controls. It then got later ported to the PS4 and the Xbox and things like that. There was a PS2 version of this as well. So Resident Evil 4 was a new transition in the franchise and moved it into the next generation. And for a lot of fans getting into Resident Evil for the first time, RE4 ended up being the first game in the franchise that they played. A lot of people started with this one and became their instant favorite. In fact, even old school fans like myself, this became a favorite for them as well. So it took a new direction, no more with the tank controls and things like that. This became more of an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter style with survival horror elements into it, but it started to lean a bit more towards action. And then most recently we got Resident Evil 4 Remake, which follows along with the remakes of 2 and 3, expands on the story even further, puts the game into amazing graphic levels where we continue the story of Leon Kennedy. We find out what happened with Ada, and they find this little village that has been working with utilizing something called Las Plagas, this mutated thing that looks for a host and puts them under the control of like the main. It was kind of like a hive mind sort of deal. And mixing that with things like the T virus and the G virus, they're trying to make these new mutations to take over the world, basically. This group, this cult, kidnaps the president's daughter and wants to infect her and then send her back so that she starts to infect the entire U.S. So it gets pretty crazy. It gets a little political at points. But this was a catalyst in what would adapt the virus further as we get into the later entries of the game. And RE4, like I said, is a fan favorite for a lot of people. It was one of the most advanced Resident Evil games at the time. It also was the first Resident Evil game that a lot of players jumped into the franchise with for the very first time, and it really left a mark on the gaming world. Now, we're going to veer off track for a little bit. Oh, my squeaky chair. Along the way, as the series was going, and with the popularity that there was of it, they started to make CG animated films, feature films based on Resident Evil and fit within the canon. So we got a movie like Resident Evil Degeneration. This movie actually is canon. It fits within the series. If you were to watch this movie right after playing RE4, you would just keep going with the story. We meet back up with Claire Redfield. We meet up with Leon. And this happens to be a whole event that happens at an airport where the virus is leaked on a plane. The plane crashes into the airport, and now there's just zombies all over the place. It gets deeper into the political impacts in the world with going on with bioterrorism spreading throughout the world. And we start to learn about the formation of the BSAA, a bioterrorism group that is fighting against bioterrorism, which eventually Chris Redfield joins, and other members that used to be STARS members from Raccoon City. But these CG animated films, which there are multiple of them now, do fit with the games, and watching them within the timeline fit perfectly. So it's such a cool entry, seeing these CG animated games. Sith Apple says, if you haven't seen the first CGI Resident Evil, Biohazard 4D Executor short movie is on YouTube. Oh, I don't think It's a short movie, Biohazard 4D Executor. I haven't heard of that. I got to look that up. That's really cool. I really like these CG animated movies. As the games went on, before we got to the next numbered entry in the franchise, or at least timeline-wise, we do get another spin-off. It originally came out on the Nintendo 3DS, and this was Resident Evil Revelations. This game utilized the 3DS and the idea of going into 3D and using the split screen and things like that. It was a very cool entry exclusive to the 3DS at the time, where you reprise the role as Jill Valentine. She's part of the BSAA now, and they're getting reports of her old partner Chris Redfield missing. They start looking for each other and going into a whole nother side group that was trying to pick up where Umbrella left off, because at this point Umbrella's kind of failed, and the world is starting to learn what they did, so their stock has plummeted, and it's a whole mess. So this whole other group is trying to take over from there and make their own creatures. So there's new mutations that happen within this game. The game was later ported to the PlayStation 3 and I believe the Xbox 360 at the time as well. You can also get these now on current systems digitally as well, like prior entries before that. So it was a really cool spin-off in the series before we got back into the numbered games, which when we got into Resident Evil 5. Now, I picked this up originally on the PS3. Takes place in Africa, and you play as Chris Redfield, and he gets a new partner named Sheva, and these two work awesome together. You can play as either character. The game is way more action oriented and was eventually ported as well to the PS4 and then upscaled on the PlayStation 5. Resident Evil 5 is very action oriented, which also did split the fandom. It steered away from survival horror and became more like playing a Call of Duty game with zombies, which is a lot of fun, but it's not what people usually are looking for in a Resident Evil game. That said, the story elements of this are fantastic. We find out what Wesker has been up to, and we get a final battle between Chris Redfield and Albert Wesker. It is an amazing just ending to a main storyline in the franchise, because after Resident Evil 5, the franchise takes another turn big time with the story. But if you like action and you also like a mix of horror in there, Resident Evil 5 is right up your alley. Plus, it had co-op play. You could play local split screen co-op, or you could play online, and you can still do that to this day. So Resident Evil 5, definitely an entry worth picking up for any Resident Evil fan. We get another spin-off in the form of Revelations 2, another side story. Takes place between 5 and 6. You reprise the role of Claire Redfield again. We also get to play as Barry Burton, and we meet Barry's daughter as well. Again, a whole nother side group trying to pick up from the ashes of Umbrella and utilize these bioweapons to make a profit and sell them on the black market. All kinds of creepy stuff happened in this one. This one was broken up into episodes, which was interesting. So these Revelations games are much shorter than the rest of the series, and they also play quite a bit different. Again, still action oriented, but a bit more horror in that entry. Now, Resident Evil 6. This one is rough. This one is rough. I originally got it on the PlayStation 3. It was later ported to the PS5, and then you can upscale it on the PS4 and then upscale it on the PS5. Resident Evil 6 may quite possibly be the most hated entry in the entire Resident Evil franchise. RE6 decided to do something a bit different. I guess they were trying to please everyone, because there were fans who love it all being horror, there were fans that loved it being more action, and then there were fans that liked it being a mix. So what they did with RE6 was they made multiple campaigns where you play as different characters, and they're all heading towards the same direction basically in the story, but in different places in different points in time. It jumps around all over the place. They basically turned Resident Evil into a version as if Quentin Tarantino made it, and this is the Pulp Fiction of Resident Evil. Now, look, Pulp Fiction is fantastic. It's an amazing film, one of my favorites of all time. But that doesn't quite work in Resident Evil. When you play as Leon, that's your survival horror campaign. When you play as Chris, that's your action campaign. That plays more like something like Call of Duty or Battlefield. When you play as Sherry Birkin grown up, it plays sort of like RE3 with Nemesis, because there's a creature chasing after you the whole game. And then there's Ada Wong, the mysterious character whose side is always her own. That's the side she's on. She does whatever benefits her. She's the most mysterious character. Her side of the campaign is more like espionage and stuff like that. So it is an insane mix of gameplay and story styles in this game, in a jumbled mess that is all out of order. It's a giant mess. It's difficult to follow. And on top of that, the controls are pretty bad. Just to describe it quickly, the game wants you to move fast. It wants you to sprint, except the areas are very small and tight. So every time you move, you bump into something. It's very frustrating. I've still played through these games multiple times, and I do like a lot of the story elements, but I gotta tell you, Resident Evil 6 is one of those entries in the franchise that when I'm replaying, most times, I skip it. Resident Evil 6 is frustrating. There are many things I do like about it, but most of it, it's just too much. If I have to be in the right mood to want to replay RE6, and it's a tough go, but it's part of the story, so I had to do it. I had to make sure that we see that. The franchise continued in CG animated films, and we got Resident Evil Damnation, where we meet up with Leon again. We also get some stuff with Rebecca and Ada. This is just more missions for Leon. He's kind of become more of a secret agent at this point. He didn't really join the BSAA. He's more of like a secret agent that has worked for the U.S. government and worked under the president. So going on, just basically these are side quests fighting against bioterrorism. Bioterrorism. So a lot of fun, really cool movies. I definitely recommend watching those. Now, this next jump, we waited quite a few years for this one at this point, and this was much like Resident Evil 4, where the game took a turn in how it plays, gameplay style, tone, everything. Resident Evil 7 made another big leap. Now, we talked about Resident Evil Survivor before being the actual first game that went into first person in the franchise. RE7 brings us back to the first person point of view. What it also brings back is full-blown survival horror. The action elements have basically been removed. We play as brand new characters we have never met before, and we learn about Ethan Winters and his wife, Mia. They end up dealing with the Baker family, a family that has been infected by a new type of virus that has actually been around for a very long time, ever since the true origins of Umbrella. And we find that out in the next entry. But Resident Evil 7 deals with an isolated incident in Louisiana and the Baker family. And we have a whole new mutation to deal with, and it is incredible. RE7 brought back the horror. This is one of the scariest games in the entire franchise. Not only is it terrifying being in first person, the overall tone, the idea of limited inventory, conserving your ammo, and just everything is back from the originals of how terrifying it was. It all comes together in RE7. And then throughout the game, there are little hints of things that came before, things in the files, little Easter eggs here and there. But overall, this takes us in a brand new direction with brand new characters years later after all of the events we just went through in the prior games. Alan saying, when are we streaming RE7? I played some of it not too long ago. I got the replays up there. I got the poop scared out of me on that one. But I'm always happy to replay this game. In fact, fun fact about RE7 and the channel, this was actually the first game I ever live streamed. And when I was live streaming the game, the first person that joined the live chat was Coffee on Korriban. And if you guys haven't checked out Coffee on Korriban, great Star Wars channel, great friend, and that's how him and I met. Was in the live chat when I was playing RE7, streaming it for the first time way back when. I still have that up on the channel if you want to see how awful my setup was and how terrible my sound was and everything. It was the first time I was doing this stuff. But this is RE7 is basically the game that started it all here at Matcave Gaming. So fun fact on that one. And then yes, Sith Apple, this one does play in VR. I haven't quite figured out how I can stream VR games. The problem is because I have to have a VR helmet on and then also control everything. I'm doing all this on my own. I don't have anybody else running the channel or anything like that. So I would need a second person somehow in control. If I somehow come across a way of doing that, eventually I would be more than happy to stream this in VR. But I do have to say, this game is even more terrifying in VR, so it gets pretty crazy. Spidey, thanks so much for coming by, man. I appreciate it. I will see you soon, dude. All right, RE7 got a direct follow-up. Resident Evil 8, also known as Resident Evil Village. This continues the story of Ethan Winters and Mia Winters, but then it brings in the new member of their family, their baby daughter. Now, Village. Oh my goodness. This game, when this was coming out, sorry for the reflection, it's still in the wrapper. This game, it came out on the PS5 and the current Xbox system. It's out on PC. The graphics are insane. Again, the game came out in first person, but later there was an add-on to the game that allowed you to pull the camera back and put the game in third person, which I actually prefer to play in. So ever since then, I've been playing RE Village in third person, which makes it look more like RE4 or RE5. Village continues the story of Ethan Winters and finding out the source of the mold. It's called the mold, the new mutation that's creating these bioweapons. And you come across literally this little village that is being run by and terrorized by some of the craziest characters I've ever seen in the franchise. There are literally vampires in this game. There are werewolves. There are basically goblins. And then there's zombies as well. So it's a whole mix of different mutations, different powers, different abilities that these characters have. Because of the different mutations, they've adapted them and how they're able to function. It's basically like giving them superpowers, and it's a lot of fun. And the direction this game goes in is very surprising. We meet back up with Chris Redfield and we learn even more information. In fact, we find out the origins of it all. Everything. How Umbrella started, how the virus started, how everything was made. We find that out in RE8, also known as Village. That brings us up to date with the Resident Evil franchise in the mainstream, in the main line set of games. There's another CG animated film. I haven't obtained the hard copy of it yet. I do have it digitally, but I didn't get the hard copy yet. RE9, Resident Evil 9 is in the works. I'm thinking we're going to get some sort of information and potential reveal sooner rather than later at this point. I think as we get the announcement for whatever the next remake is going to be, I think along with it, we're probably going to get a teaser for Resident Evil 9, which will complete the trilogy started with 7. 7, 8, and 9 follows the Winters family, and 9 will follow their daughter when she's grown up. 9 is going to take a big time jump, roughly 16 or 17 years. I think it's going to be the biggest time jump in the franchise to date. And we're gonna see what happens with Ethan and Mia's daughter. Now she's basically infected, but it has adapted to her body has adapted to the infection and has utilized it. So much like many of the villains in the Resident Evil franchise, we now have a good guy that has powers. Their daughter has powers, and we got a little tease of it in the DLC that came out for Village, where we actually get to play as her. And it was really interesting. It was really cool, and I can't wait for Resident Evil 9. Now, here's the big question. How does the franchise change overall when the 9th entry in the mainline series comes out? When RE9 comes out, what type of gameplay are we going to have? What point of view are we going to be playing in? How much of the game will be true survival horror? How much of it will be action? How much of it is it going to be, for lack of a better term, how much of it is going to be sci-fi? Because now we're dealing with special abilities. We're dealing with superpowers, basically. How that impacts how we play the game is going to decide how different it is. And I think RE9 is going to be very different from everything we have seen so far. I think 9 is going to be a major point of change in the franchise going forward. Because I don't think the franchise is going to end with 9. If it does, I'll be very surprised. I would be shocked if it... Now look, that said, I'm not against the franchise coming to an end. Like actually tying everything up, wrapping it up, and giving us a true conclusion to the story. If they do that and they do it well, I will be very happy. I will be incredibly thrilled to see a full story from beginning to end. I think it could work. But I think they're going to keep going. I don't think 9 is going to be the end. I think we're going to start a whole new story altogether after that. We could see this franchise just basically veer off the main course and start to do something completely new. And I think 9 is going to be that catalyst that brings us to whatever direction Capcom is looking to bring this franchise in. Again, if it does come to an end, I will be perfectly happy with that. I think they have done a phenomenal job telling this story. I think it has remained consistently good throughout overall. There have been some interesting entries along the way, as we talked about here, but I am very happy as a Resident Evil fan. I have been playing these games for, man, such a large portion of my life. It's pretty crazy. And I will continue to play these games until they end. Until one of them's going to end first. Either Resident Evil's going to end or I'm going to end. Either way, I'm going to keep going. But man, I can't wait to see what they have in store for us going forward, guys. And there'll be plenty more Resident Evil here at Matcave Gaming in the very near future. That said, as we come up into the next coming streams, we're going to be diving back into some major retro gaming. We will be breaking out the Wheel of Fate here and there, depending on the game we're playing, but I'm going to be bringing it back to the 8-bit and 16-bit eras very, very soon. And for everyone who has stuck it out this far, if you're watching this on the replay and you made it all the way here to the end, thank you so much for all the support you give the channel. Simply watching the channel, interacting with it with the like buttons and clicking that subscribe button, all the free things that you guys are able to do to engage with the channel, it's the best way to help support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you all so much to everyone who has watched, all of our subscribers, all of our members here. And until next time, keep retro gaming alive, because one day your games will be retro too. Whew. Man, this is a lot of Resident Evil. But I never get tired of it. I will see you guys next week.